Radio, WNN.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
It's the Becky and Boca Show, coming to you live every Thursday night at 6 p.m. from glamorous downtown Boca Raton. I'll show you how to live life in style in one of the country's most elegant cities, nestled right along the beautiful Atlantic beaches between Palm Beach and Miami. So sit back, relax, and let me show you how to indulge yourself Boca style. Hello, and welcome to the Becky and Boca Show. I look a little bit different tonight because we're doing a glam holiday show. We're going to show you how to go all out for your holiday parties and look very glamorous with hair, makeup, clothes. This dress, I have to say, is from En Vogue, which is a boutique inside of Ivy Lee's Luxe Makeup and Beauty Lounge. And the people I'm having on here tonight are all from the Beauty Lounge. So that's a place to go to get all glammed up for your holiday looks. And my first guest is Janet, and she is with MissTress Hair. She has a station at the Beauty Lounge. And she's going to show us how to do this kind of hair and all different extensions to totally change up your look. And if you've never tried extensions, you really should, because they're easy and they're fun and they're glamorous. The one I have on, you can take in and take out. So, Janet, you want to tell us about this one?
Yes. So you have a blonde mix in your hair, and basically it's human hair that's a few different wefts tied on together. So you have a
lot of hair.
Full head of hair. It's human hair, so it could be colored, washed, chemically treated. You could curl or flat iron it.
Could you curl this for me today?
Yeah, that was curled. You could wear it straight or wavy.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically just go on, you pull up some of your natural hair around the crown and put that on and then style your hair over it. So it's a temporary fix.
Oh, it's the greatest thing, because I did wear regular extensions before, the seamless bonded ones, I guess they're called.
Yeah.
And I wore them for about a year when I was trying to grow my hair out, and they were great. It's a major commitment. I loved it at the time, but this is something you can take in and take out if you don't want to make that whole commitment.
Right.
To keeping it in all the time.
It's good for people, if you have really fragile or thin hair and you don't want to commit. It doesn't damage your hair, and then you don't have to commit to the maintenance. So with all the other extensions that I do as well, these are seamless tape-in.
Those are tape-in. Okay.
So these are double-sided tape.
Can you show one of these first, what I have in?
So
because and for people on radio, I have to describe it. It's a halo. It's actually on a monofilament wire, right?
Yeah.
And so it sits right along the crown of your hair. So your real hair is exposed up on top and comes kind of over this hair, and then it blends in together. So it gives you long, thick, lush hair, but you put it in and take it out real simple.
Yeah.
And it's human hair, right?
It's human hair, and it takes about 5 minutes. So you'll take the crown of your hair out on the top, clip it on top of your head, and then this is fitted custom to fit everyone's head. So you just put it on top and then lay the crown of your hair on, over top of this.
Right. I have it on right now, and it's really comfortable. It doesn't even feel like I have anything in my hair.
So it's just underneath your natural hair.
You have one on too.
And I have 15 colors. So basically you could always find something to blend. And if you have a wild color or a really vivid red, then we can color them to match.
Yeah. And you do all of that at Ivy Lee's Beauty Lounge,
right? At the Ivy Lee's, yeah.
Okay. And what is the price of these?
So these cost $250.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get a $250 from the package, but if you want it blended and custom fit and put in, so you're ready to go for the night, that's an additional $50.
Okay, so that's just like getting your hair styled.
Yeah, and then this lasts, so you'll have this for...
Yeah, I've had mine for over a year.
Yeah. If you're wearing it for occasions here and there, you got a good year and a half. Mm-hmm. If you're wearing it constantly, like daily, you'll probably get a year out of it because it's not attached to a root, so it's going to start to get dry after long wear.
And do you wash it?
You could wash it just gently in the sink with good products.
Uh-huh.
So you could just wash it gently, then lay it out to dry. And then what I like to tell people is to put it on a pant hanger, like a skirt hanger. And then from there, you could put some curls in it or flat iron it and style it.
Before you even put it on your...
without it being in your head.
That's amazing. Now, these are great. I've featured these at a couple of my parties because I had never seen them before of this quality. I've seen like other ones that are very thin and much less hair.
Right.
But yours have a lot of hair in them.
Yeah, they advertise these, I think, on Facebook somewhere where it's the same method where you just fling it on top of your head and put your natural hair over. But those have one weft.
One row. So you're saying those are one row of hair.
One thin row. So if you have any thickness to your hair, it's not going to blend in.
And I know that I only need to wear one of these.
Yeah.
And I think a couple years ago, I ordered one from the internet that was one strand or one weft or whatever. And I put it in my hair. I would have needed 10 of those.
Yeah, it looks
to
like
get this
doll
much volume.
hair,
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah,
so.
and it's just that it did nothing.
It's synthetic. So this is
a quality
piece. Yeah,
it's a Boca Raton quality product
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And okay, so it's $250, and basically once you get it, and you would cut it to blend into the person's hair.
So we have shorter versions. So basically, you
Okay.
can get it cut to your length. So if you're short and you just want some volume, you can get it cut to your length.
So this is good for people whose hair is too thin, also,
Thin,
right?
just to get a little bit more volume on the ends. People have a lot of breakage. So you can just get pure volume, or you can get volume and length. So I
Okay.
have clients that don't even cut it. They just want it straight from the package. They come 20 inches long, and they
that's pretty long.
actually
Okay.
wear lower because it's so low in the back of your head. So it gives you about 22
Oh,
inches.
so you can adjust the wire so that it sits lower, is what you're saying?
It
Because this
really
one on
is-
me is sitting like right on my crown, it feels like.
Right.
Okay.
You're really not going to fit it for length. You're going to fit it to fit your head so it's secure. And then we cut it for length.
And then you cut it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the person, I know you put it in for them when they come and buy it, but at night they just pull it off, right?
Yeah.
Hang it up.
Yeah.
And then the next day, clip up the top of their hair, put it back in.
Put it back on, and you just store it in a shoebox or whatever. I don't recommend sleeping in it. It's not the best thing to sleep in. Or
Maybe if you're on a date, though.
if you need to, you could. If you have to pull it off,
It's possible.
Yeah. But you're really not
You're
going to go to the
excuse me,
beach.
honey, I'm going to take my hair out.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend swimming in it because you'll have something next to you.
Okay, but the great thing about these is, like when I did wear the extensions, I loved them.
Right.
But they are heavy, and when your hair gets wet, it's a lot of work to dry it and everything. And this is much easier if you don't
Yeah.
want the commitment of extensions. And, take these out when you go to the gym or anything like that, and then put them in when you're going out. So
Yeah, the best
it's
thing
a
is there's
really-
no damage. So I do all
Yeah.
of these other methods, and people love them because they're in all the time, day, night, pool, the beach.
Okay, so what's the most popular or the latest thing now?
I guess the most popular method would be this, which is a double-sided tape. So
I
these,
never tried the tape-ins, but I know people that wear them and they
they're
love
nice because they're lighter on your hair. Opposed to some beads or glue-in. Oh, the glue-in could be a little more damaging, but everyone has a different method that they like best for them, depending on their activity. If they're in the pool, these lay very flat, and there's not a lot of tension on your hair. So this is the most popular
because it's
method.
not on just a couple individual strands. It's over
yeah.
several strands.
Yeah, it's over about 1.5 inches of your hair.
Okay.
And then you sandwich your hair between these two.
So you're basically taping two pieces together and with your own hair in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they stay in, I'd say about 5 to 6 weeks, and then you get them removed and then retaped again.
and you move them up
You move
because
them
your
up.
hair's growing.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you know exactly where that you just take it right out and put it right back in?
Yeah,
the
there's
same?
like an oil that you spray on it, and it loosens up the adhesive. So we just pull them off, clean them up, and then you could reuse them again. But it basically, with all of these methods, with fusion, microbead, and tape-in, it depends on how quickly the person's hair grows and how comfortable they are with the growth. And then we remove them and raise them up.
Okay. So the micro beads, I did wear those at one time.
Yeah, these are
I've done a lot of things to
these
my hair.
are new, so they're affixed to a really thin skin weft.
Okay, so for those of you on radio, this is a weft of hair, and it has a little 4 or 5 beads across it.
Yeah,
With-
it's supposed to mimic your scalp, so they call it a skin weft. So it's a very thin little, what would you say this? A thin area where the hair is hand tied, and there's little metal cylinders, and you put your hair in this.
So you're pulling your hair through that little tube,
Yeah.
and then you crimp it. Is that what you do?
and then you crimp this bead closed. Yeah.
Okay, and that's what holds it on.
Yeah, so
on your
there's
hair.
no glue involved or tape with this one.
And then do you have to move those up too?
They all need to be moved up depending on how much they've grown out.
So can you reuse these?
These can be reused as well.
Okay, so you just open up that little bead and
Yeah, there's a
slide it up?
specific plier. It opens up this little cylinder bead, and you just pull it out. So there's not really damage with this as well. And then we have the oldest method, which is
what's that one?
this is fusion. So basically,
I've done those.
Yeah. These are glued in, so you're going to get a little more damage with these, but there's some
Okay.
people who love it and they stick with it.
Is that easier to wear or something?
These move with your hair a
Oh,
lot.
I see.
So you
Okay.
got a lot of movement. If you're pulling your hair up in a ponytail, they hide easily.
Okay.
And they last longer. You could have these in for 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
As opposed to the beads, how long?
When you have a thicker weft of hair, you really want to change it out between 4 and 6 weeks, I would say, would be safe.
Okay. So, and you want to give us prices on these?
It really depends. These run about $150 a bundle. It's hard to give prices out because everyone's
You don't know how much hair
is
somebody
different.
needs.
Their length
Okay.
is different, their texture. So it depends. For me, I would probably need one package. You would need two. So
Okay.
you would need a consultation to
Right.
get more.
And you're at Ivy Lee's Beauty Lounge?
Yeah, in East Boca, just south of Meisner Park.
And how does somebody get a hold of you if they want to make an appointment and come in and see this stuff?
They can call me directly or contact me at the salon.
Okay. What's your number or contact information?
My cell phone would be the best way is 954-465-6005.
Okay. And someone would call you, make a consultation, come into the beauty lounge, and
Yeah. And then we can go through a consultation of different methods. What's best for the individual? If you have super thin hair or fragile hair.
yeah. What about somebody that has really thinning hair and they want they don't want to damage their hair at all? The hair slip the
That
best?
is where I would recommend the hair slip.
Okay,
Because there's absolutely no damage and you get thickness and fullness within 5 minutes and you could pull it off. So you're not keeping these in for a length of time, which is causing tension or damage. So someone with super fine, fragile hair, I think this is the
hair
best
slip.
method.
That's a really
Yeah.
good solution. And you cut it to any length.
Yeah.
So even if someone doesn't want to go long, their hair just is too thin, you can work it into a short haircut?
Yeah, we can cut it very short.
Okay.
And then if you're super thin and you don't really want this big voluminous hair, it could be thinned out. We could thin it
okay.
out and texturize it so it's very light too.
Okay, so if someone just wants a little more volume.
Yeah. I
That would
actually
be ideal.
had a customer with very thin hair and she wanted to wear it just during the day at work. So we took this and actually cut it in half and made two out of it.
Oh.
So she had a short daytime one, but
Oh,
it was
interesting.
thin. She
Yeah.
had thin hair. She just wanted a little bit
Yeah.
more weight line. And then the second one she left longer and would curl
So
it.
she'd
and-
have two looks.
Yeah. And then she could wear both of them at the same time if she wanted the fullness of one full piece.
Okay, that's a cool
Yeah.
idea. And with the longer hair and the hair slips, what I use mine for is like if I'm going to an event
Right.
and I want to go like full out glam,
Right.
then I put this in and it's really fun.
Yeah, I do the same. I have a short one, which is kind of daytime, and
I never know what you do. You have one in now, right?
I have one in now. So this is the one I usually wear most of the time.
And do you have regular extensions too, or
No,
okay? So you're just wearing a hair slip.
just a hair slip.
Okay.
And my hair is pretty short, so you could kind of see it underneath.
Yeah.
It's right below my shoulder, so I'm getting a good 5 inches from this.
And nobody would ever know
No,
that you
but
or
I tell
I
everybody.
were wearing. Yeah, that's like me. I tell everybody to get my eyes done,
Yeah,
cosmetic
yeah.
procedures. I don't care. But a lot of people don't want anyone to know, and I
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
I don't think anyone would notice. I mean, you can't see, and the monofilament wire is clear for one
It's
thing.
clear. You don't see it on the top. You really don't.
You just kind of
feel
work your
it.
hair over the wire so that you don't even see an indentation or
you just
anything.
comb your hair over the top of it, and you don't feel it on your head because it's sitting so low.
Yeah, it's very comfortable.
Yeah. And these days, men should really know not to touch our heads. So,
Yeah, that's another thing.
yeah.
I have girlfriends that wear different kinds of extensions, and if they're single, they're always worried about the guy running his fingers through.
Yeah, but who doesn't have them these days?
Well,
Except
see,
for
I know.
Ivy.
Right. Yeah. We have a little studio audience in here. Say hi, girls. Got Ivy and Lisa here. They're up next.
Yeah.
He's got her applause. Wait, bring that over here. Hand that to her.
We have applause.
Put it by the mic. Okay, hit it. How do you like that? Live to the audience.
We're getting tips. I'm actually considering putting one of those in.
Yeah. You have very thick hair.
Black one over there.
Oh,
This is
right on
Ivy.
you. That's Ivy's color. Could you put that in her?
We could.
You want Ivy? Want to come over here and let her do it?
Sure.
All right, just kind of like kneel down there by her chair and see if you can get in the. Yeah, let's see how that.
Do a quick little demo.
Okay, Ivy, try to get in the camera there.
Ivy's not a typical candidate because she's got super thick hair.
Okay. Yeah, Ivy's hair is very thick, but we have the same color.
So basically, you just pull the top up.
It's so simple. And for those of you on radio, she's pulling the top of the hair up and just
Give me
putting
a
it
hand, Ive.
like in a little ponytail. And then you put
And
the
I'm gonna get underneath.
hair slip on. So the monofilament wire runs right over the crown.
Hold the top.
There's no
Your hair.
clips or anything. That's what I love about it, because clips are what is painful after a while if you're wearing something in your hair.
They take a little while to get in the clips.
Yeah,
So-
I've worn clips. I got it. I must be 100 years old. I've worn out all of these. Now look at that.
I mean, it's hard to see because she's wearing black and her hair's dark.
But now
I didn't
she
comb it
has-
over the top.
Glamorous, long, dark hair.
If I had a white shirt on, you would really see.
That is so
But it
pretty.
feels so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the quality is
Yeah, it's human hair,
It's
and
human
it's
hair,
healthy.
but these would be
thick,
cut.
though. It's
Yeah, so
about volume. And
so you would cut it to kind of blend in with her hair.
Yeah, this would have to be texturized a lot because she has a lot of hair. So
Yeah.
and it's a blonde cut. So.
and then it comes off
Look at that. You go from shoulder length hair to long glam hair.
to a trendy little bob.
Yeah, right. Bob during the day, long hair at night. Thank you, Ivy. See, it's nice having a studio audience in here.
Yeah, it's easy for people who don't have patience for the clip-ins, and sometimes if you have thin hair, especially at your temple, the clips
clip-ins,
will-
I've worn clip-ins before, and by the end of the night, we're not talking about any of these that you have here. We're talking about the kind that are the little clips
clip in,
that you
yeah.
buy and you put in yourself at home. They're okay at the beginning of the night, but after a couple hours, it's like wearing really uncomfortable shoes for
Yeah.
me. You know, I feel like they're just digging into my scalp,
yeah,
and
when
I
the
can't
night's
wait
over,
to.
they're in the back seat. 'Cause you're like
yes.
unclipping them and throwing
Oh
them.
yeah, even before the night's
Yeah.
over, sometimes in the bag. My hair in the restaurant gets shorter. But yeah, so that's why I love this hair slip, because I used to wear those, and those were temporary clip-ins, and they just drove me nuts by the
It's
end of
just
the night.
that if you don't place them where they're supposed to be, the side on the side, then you have different lengths. So
Right. How do you know
it's
where to put it?
uneven, where this is an even fit, simple, easy.
Right.
You just, plop it on.
So once you cut it for someone's head, they can take it in and put it on whenever they want, and it's going
Yeah.
to look.
And the thing is, once you style it, like put some waves in it like this, it's in. I put it away in the bathroom when I'm ready
Oh,
to
so
wear
you
it.
mean if I take this off tonight and just hang it up?
It's
it'll
ready,
stay
yeah.
curly?
It'll keep the wave. It
Oh.
holds the wave pretty well.
Wow.
And then I would say it's like 6 to 10 times or something, you're going to want to rewash it.
Hmm. I don't think I've washed mine yet.
You don't need to wash it that much. If you're in a cigar bar, you're probably going to wash it.
Okay. Now, can you put conditioner and hairspray and everything
Yeah.
on these?
Everything, yeah.
Everything you would put on
Yeah.
normal hair.
If you're going to wear it constantly, I wouldn't recommend constantly heating it up and a lot of hairspray. It doesn't need it.
Right.
Yeah.
So if the curl stays, you should just.
Yeah, it's easy maintenance. Leave it, and then after a few times, touch up the curl.
Okay.
Or just come see me.
Now, I see some. Are those your colors there that you have?
Yeah, so these are all color swatches, but these are for all the extensions.
Okay.
So there's a lot to choose from with the hair slips. There's 15 different colors.
Okay. And like you said, you can.
I match everybody. There's never a problem.
Not a
Like I
problem.
said, if somebody has a really super bright red or fantasy color, then I'll have to work with
Fantasy
coloring.
color being like those purples and
Pinks
stuff. Right?
and blues, then it'll have to be customized.
Okay. But you can do that.
Yeah, that could be done.
Okay. So the whole thing can be done right there in your chair at Ivy Lee's. Well, it's a really fun product. So anyone that is thinking about it, like if you don't want to make the commitment to these, and these are the bonded ones, right?
Yeah, the glue infusion, those will stay in a good 3 months at least.
Yeah. I used to wear those. They were fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
A lot of people like them, but like I said, you're gluing them into your hair. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not really the install or so much the wear, it's the removal that could be damaging.
Okay.
So I don't like to push those unless somebody's really stuck on them and they have the integrity of their hair can handle it.
Right. Has to
Yeah.
be tough.
I
hair.
always like to recommend what's good for the client's hair. So if they have fragile hair or thin hair, I would recommend the tape or
Let
the
me
hair
see the
slip.
tape ones. You know, I always meant to try those, but then I just finally grew my own hair out and didn't have to. So this has like an adhesive?
Yeah. It's like a double-sided tape.
Do you heat it up? Is that how you?
You don't need to, but when I sandwich it in between the hair, so the client's hair is in the center,
see that.
and there's a piece of tape on each side. Sometimes I like to tap it with the iron just to seal the adhesive in.
Okay. And then how do you remove them?
And then after about 5 to 6 weeks, they'll grow out, and we'll just spray a little oil in them to remove.
And then, but you reuse them then?
You can
move
reuse them. Yeah.
Okay.
They have to be washed and retaped because they have oil to
How do
remove
you
them.
keep track of where they go, though?
I do. It's a secret.
Okay, but okay.
I
'cause
know
that
where
would
they
be-
go. I kind
that's
of mark them.
The
because
first thing I think is how
Yeah.
they're all different lengths.
Yeah.
So you can put them right back in
where they were.
and so they don't have to buy a whole new set.
No.
Because I know with the bonded,
Those are garbage after they're
yes,
done.
that's the one expensive thing about these. When I wore them, is that when you're ready to take them out and put them back in, you can't use the same ones because they're all these little individual pieces, and one might have been here or here or here, and you don't know
the
where.
bonded area starts to fall apart.
Yeah.
So with the tape-in, you can use these, I say up to 3 times. After that, then they're getting a little worn out and the hair is going to get a little old.
Okay, so 3 times. So how many weeks do you have them in?
4 to 6, and then you'll raise them, and then you could do that up to 3 times.
Oh, so you get like 3 months or so out of this.
Yeah, you get a lot, yeah.
That's a long time. Okay, got anything else on that rack to show us? What about ponytails? Do you do those?
I have a ponytail, but I don't have them in stock. It's something
Okay.
we would probably order for somebody.
Because that's kind of a cool thing. I know
They're
people
really
pull their hair up and then
sexy.
they put a
I
long
have
ponytail.
one. Lisa's got one, a super long
seen you in
blonde
the-
one.
yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So
there's-
people can get those through you.
Yeah, I
They
could
just
order
come in.
them.
Okay,
Yeah.
you match their color and all that. Because those are fun. And how do those work? You just put.
So you're gonna put your hair back in a tight ponytail, like pretty high. You could do a high ponytail with them, and you'll clip it in. There's one clip, and you wrap it around. So your hair, your natural hair is in the center.
What are you wrapping around there?
So, so say this is the ponytail. You're kind of clipping it on your hair.
Okay.
And then there's an extra piece
Oh.
on the side, and you
Oh.
wrap it around so you don't see any rubber band or anything.
Oh, I might have to get one of those from you.
Oh, they're fun.
That
They're
does
really
sound like
fun.
fun. Because you could go really long with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have them in stock, but we could always get them.
You can order them.
Yeah.
You're our hair girl. And I know like a lot of women like extensions because sometimes as we get a little older, our hair gets thinner. It's hard to grow long hair and have it be lush and thick.
Right. It starts
Like-
breaking,
Yeah.
from the ear down. It starts getting thinner with age.
Right.
And with heating up your hair and the sun, all that is going to damage and start, you'll start getting breakage. So you'll start seeing it by the temple area and a lot in the sides. So a lot of people like these because it gives you that volume down here.
Right. Because by the time you grow your hair out this long, it's pretty damaged probably from
and
everything you've been
mostly
doing.
in the front.
Yeah. Okay. So this
Yeah.
can
So if
kinda hide
anyone's
that.
pulling their hair in the front, like we always do, you're left with nothing in the back.
Back, let me get it.
Yeah.
Let me get it. all
We
in the
forget
front
about
here.
it.
This is I just feel so glamorous in these. That's why I thought, I want to do something, a show about like holiday parties and getting all dolled up. So you can really change your look
Change your
with
look
these.
with this. Yeah, I really don't go anywhere besides like work and the gym without a piece in because it
The
feels
gym?
sexier. Yeah, the gym, forget it. It's a bun on my head. It's not cute.
But then you can just put this right in afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is amazing because, like I said, I wore the bonded ones. I did them for about a year because I was trying to grow my hair out, and I would always get it like about shoulder length, and then I would cut it back to a bob, and I was just trying to get it longer. So my girlfriend in Tampa convinced me to do bonded extensions, and I thought I was going to hate it, but when I got back and looked in the mirror, I was like, "Oh my
It's
God!"
addicting. It's addicting. I did those too, the glue infusion. But unlike you, my hair is really fine and fragile. So when I took those out, it was a nightmare. There was a lot of
See,
damage.
I didn't
so
have any damage from them.
It depends on the person's
On
hair.
your hair,
You,
yeah.
Like I said, you have really strong hair.
Uh-huh.
Even down to the very bottom of your hair, you don't have any breakage. So I would never put that in someone's hair who's really thin or
So
fragile.
you would evaluate the hair to see
Yeah.
if it could handle it.
Yeah.
So in someone with healthy hair or thick hair, these are okay?
They're fine. It's just
Yeah.
really like whoever's installing them, you just have to like with the removal process, be careful because you're
That's
putting
where
a
you're
solution
running.
on.
That's where you get into trouble?
Yeah, because you're
Okay.
dissolving like a keratin with glue and you're crimping it. So you're kind of like crimping into your natural hair. So you just have to be gentle with the removal.
Okay.
And the only other thing that could be damaging with other extensions, like tape-ins, which are pretty gentle, is pulling on your hair. If you're sleeping and your hair is caught underneath your arm and you're yanking, or you're in the
Okay.
car and your hair is stuck behind your back, any yanking is going to continually, put
Wearing on the
pressure
hair.
on
Okay.
and tension in that area. So over weeks and weeks or months, that tension is
Because
going to...
I know a lot of people are afraid of extensions for that
That's
reason.
crazy.
I know. And the whole time I was wearing them, people used to stop me when I tell them I'm wearing extensions, say, "Oh, you're going to ruin your hair. You're going to go bald." People would scare the heck out of me.
They're jealous.
And you must be right, because when I finally took them out after a year, I had no damage.
Right.
They didn't. I suffered no ill effects from them.
A lot of people
So-
don't. Like I said, if you have very healthy hair, if you have a lot of bleach in your hair and it's kind of dry or you see some shedding, that is not what I would put in your hair.
Yeah. So you have the other option. So you say
Yeah.
the tape-in is safer
I think that's safer.
if you had fragile hair.
And I had a girl who really wanted more permanent extensions. She came in this week. And she's like, I want permanent extensions like tape-ins or fusion because it's December and I have a lot of events. And I pushed her away and I said, why? If you want it for 1 month, you put this in.
Right.
You put this in your hair. It takes 5 minutes. I'll teach you how to do it. You don't leave the salon until you know exactly what you're doing.
I have a girlfriend.
And then she's got it. You hold on to it for next year.
I have a girlfriend that wore that. She wanted to give her regular extensions a break for about 6 weeks. So she wore that during the interim. And I couldn't tell the difference between her keratin extensions and when she had the hair slip in.
Yeah, people
So-
will do that if they have to wait for their extensions to come in stock because some people custom order.
Oh, okay.
This is like for in the interim, people will put these in.
Right. It's like a lifestyle. And some people say they want to rest their hair. I'm not sure what.
Give their head a break. Do some
Yeah.
treatments.
Just to convince yourself that you're not, your hair's not damaged.
It's still
at all.
there.
Yeah, because I know the whole time I have it, and I was worried. Oh my God, everybody's telling me I'm ruining my hair. But I think that is a myth that extensions ruin your hair. And as you've shown us here, there are lots and lots of options.
There's options, and then there's ways to care for it. When you go to bed, you shouldn't go to bed with any extension with your hair wet.
Yeah, what about swimming and stuff like that? Because I know they're very heavy when they get
Gotta
wet.
wash it right after, or else the chlorine will sit in the hair, dry it out, and then it'll put damage to the attachment area. So if
Okay.
there's glues or tapes and there's chlorine, it's going to start eating away at it. So
Right, sure.
any salt water or chlorine, you have to wash immediately after.
Okay.
You shouldn't go to bed with your hair wet. Like a loose braid or a soft pony is fine. And then if you want to take it to
Wait,
another
what do you
level.
mean? You mean when it's wet, you braid it?
No,
When you
When
sleep.
you go to sleep, if your
Okay.
hair is super long
Right.
with extensions, you really should put like a scrunchie in it or a light braid.
Why? What'll happen? It'll get all.
Because it moves around a lot.
Okay.
And then it, like I said, to another level, you'd want to do like a satin pillowcase, so
Okay.
that will be more smooth on your hair.
Okay.
So there's ways to care for it, so you don't, come into those issues with damage or matting. So a satin pillowcase, you won't mat your hair up if you're like a crazy sleeper.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Lots of cool options here and lots of colors. I like everything from very dark to. You have them with the highlights.
Highlights,
Which a lot of
solid
people are wearing.
colors, and then we just got a new ombre color, which
Oh, ombre.
it's like a gentle, like light brown into a blonde. So it doesn't.
Oh, that's
you
pretty.
can't tell much until you look at the ends up to the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's gorgeous. And is that one of the latest things?
This is one of the latest colors, but we could always,
You can
tweak
do
any
anything.
of the other ones
Yeah.
and color those.
'Cause you can do all that in the salon.
Yeah.
Okay. We got just about 30 seconds left here before we switch out guests. So I want to thank you very much for bringing all this stuff in. And you are at Ivy Lee's Luxe Makeup and Beauty Lounge, 233 South Federal Highway in Boca Raton. And to get a hold of you.
You can look up the salon and call us directly at the salon or call my cell phone direct, which is 954-465-6005. And then we'll book an appointment and a free consultation. I have them all
And
in stock.
you're MissTress, MissTress Hair.
Correct.
And you have a website and a Facebook page?
Yes.
Okay.
MissTress
So that
Extensions.
they can find you on MissTress Extensions. So MissTress is all one word.
Yes.
MissTress Hair.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You have been watching and listening to The Becky and Boca Show. Tune in every Thursday night at 6 p.m. to discover all the ways to spoil yourself and have a good time in beautiful Boca Raton. See you next week.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.